said, let's not put any tax increases or mandates, but let's rather increase the usefulness of health savings accounts. I bet that some of you have HSAs. Let's expand their usability, their flexibility. It's your money before taxes, and you use them for your medical expenses at your choices with the doctors of your choosing, or medical professionals, or drugs, or whatever of your choosing. Let's give the opportunity for association health plans so small businesses can combine together in economy of scale to purchase health care for an association and ultimately for those employees at each of the small businesses. Let's put tort reform into place so frivolous lawsuits are cut down. Put a cap on non-economic damages, where true malpractice can still be sued. But the frivolous lawsuits that cost all of us will be greatly reduced. Let's allow the purchase of health care across state lines. That expands the competition, that expands the variety available to us. It says to the Blues or any other insurance company, you're going to have to compete with the rest of the nation in Michigan. So let's do that. That was in my bill. And then finally I gave the same tax benefit to individuals or households that would give to businesses. Why not? If individuals or households are responsible, why shouldn't they have a pat on the back and say, attaboy, attagirl, you did good in taking care of yourself. Here's a tax break for you, just like we'll give to a business. That was in my legislation. Those principles became the centerpiece for the Republican plan that they took to the White House and presented before Barack Obama as an alternative that he turned down and Mark Schauer turned down in order to take over by the government the health care of this nation. Right now, if Senator Byrd, rest his soul, hadn't passed away yesterday, undoubtedly the financial takeover, the financial reform package that, if passed by the government, will put under the government's control 61% of the United States economy. 61% controlled by the government. Not just 61% control of GM and Chrysler by the government now, but 61% of the entire U.S. economy controlled. That's not America. At least not what I know. And I'm sure most of you never thought that that would be the case. We're Americans. We're free. We do our own thing. I read this to almost every group I'm at. I try not to miss. And I read it rather than simply quote it, which I could do for you. But I want the visual picture of me holding my brain on my hip, otherwise known as my BlackBerry. I lose this. The only worst thing to lose would be my wife. She tells me where to go to. But this is where I stand. Rachel has filmed this many times. But I want you to be able to come to me and say, if you give me the privilege to represent you in Congress, and you start to wonder, is Walberg wandering and wavering a little bit? Is he backing down on some of the things he promised to us? I want you to be able to point to my head and say, pull it out. Let's talk about it. That point that you said is where you stand. Here's what I'll say. I'm Tim Walberg, and this is where I stand. I stand for our founding principles. Those principles such as belief in our God, our Declaration of Independence, our Constitution, our Bill of Rights. I stand for freedom. Freedom to start a business, to choose your doctor, what you drive, what you eat, even if it has salt or meat in it, which I prefer. To carry a gun, to teach and raise your own children, and to live your own life. I stand for personal responsibility. Let's reward good behavior, common sense behavior, and discourage bad behavior. Oh, I love the sound of a Harley. Forgive me, my mind wanders. And I think of mine sitting at home in the barn right now. Where was I at? I stand for limited government, limited regulation, limited spending, limited taxing, and limited borrowing. I stand for life. and all other American traditional values.